I just took out a loan and bought us a larger house so that we can live with my mother.
Huh?
If you don't like that, then let's get a divorce.
Well, if you insist.
Seriously?
Since you want to give me such an ultimatum of choosing divorce or your mom, I'll take the divorce. Oh, and we'll have to split our properties fairly. We can talk more about that when you get home.
Wait! Why do you already have things like that on your mind?
Because I have been prepared for something like this for a long time now. And having to live with that crazy old lady is a no-go for me. I'd rather jump off a building than live another day in the same house as her.
What is wrong with you, Brooke? Don't you dare say things like that about her.
Have you forgotten about all the things she did to me after going to visit her house when we just got married?
She just happened to run over your favorite shoes with her car is all. Is that so bad that you'll throw away our life together?
It wasn't just that. Whenever I'd use the toilet at her place, she'd turn out the lights on me. She'd also throw ants and dirt into the food she made for me. The fact that she treats a 30-year-old woman like that at her age, especially when she's her new daughter-in-law, is infuriating.
I think she was just upset that her only child was moving out of the house. I doubt she'd still do things like that to you now.
But the fact that she did stuff like that in the first place to me, it's crazy, and she deserves to be locked up in a mental hospital.
But it's been over 2 years now, and I've given you the luxury of living in a house separate from her. Shouldn't you be thankful?
No!
You're really a blockhead, aren't you? You should know to listen to what your husband has to say by this point.
Yeah, that kind of talk is why I'm fine divorcing you.
That has nothing to do with me. It's your fault that I have to treat you this way.
Well, it was you that gave me the choice of divorcing or living with that witch.
That was just a joke. If you leave us, my mama is going to be furious with you.
I've only just started to get irked by this, but calling her mama as a grown man?
What's wrong with that?
It's gross! And you always talk to her like a man-child. Do you want to be known as the biggest mama's boy in history?
I've always called her that, but since you always made mean comments towards me, I decided to try and not talk to her like that with you around.
Huh? So you really are a child?
What about that makes me look like a child?
Maybe it's the fact that when your mommy isn't around, you can't make decisions on your own.
I'm always just a little anxious, so it's hard for me to choose what to do without her chiming in.
You also still act like you're afraid of ghosts. You complain about going into dark rooms and about having all the lights off when we go to sleep.
I'm just worried about a robber breaking into our house if we have all the lights out.
Yeah. I guess we can just leave it at that.
Screw you! I'm not some dumb child.
So, are we getting divorced? Or staying together?
No divorce! We're going to live in that new house with my mom and you'll be paying off the loan.
That's another reason why I'm not living there. Are you not listening to me?
Why do you have to be so selfish over something that happened years ago?
Right? Doesn't the way I act right now make you want to leave me? I think us getting separated is the best choice.
I'm not going to be played by you. If I don't have you around, there'll be no one willing to pay that loan off.
And what makes you think I'm willing to? After everything I've just said.
Because it's your job as my wife to take care of the house, and that includes the payments.
Well, luckily in a little bit I'll no longer be your wife. So I'll have nothing to lose.
You really want to test me?
Are we done yet? I have to get back to work. When I'm home, we can talk more.
We are not getting a divorce. Don't you dare try anything. I'll make sure you listen to everything I say.
I'm sure you guys are all wondering why I decided to marry a man-child like Garrett. A few years ago, I thought the way he acted was pretty cute, and I soon fell in love with him, hoping that it was just a small part of his personality. But I was wrong. My name is Brooke, and I'm 32 years old. My husband is Garrett, and he is 29. When we first met, it was at a restaurant that he worked at, where I just happened to walk into him, causing all the juice that he was carrying out to get on my dress. After that, we both laughed it off and started to become really good friends. Over time, we really bonded. And 2 years ago, we got married. As long as I overlooked his childish side, he was really good at getting chores done while I was at work, and would even give me a massage to relieve my stress after getting home. I really was lucky for us to have married a man like him. His mom lives in a small house about 30 minutes away from us, on the outside of the city. She has a lot of downsides to her, and after we married and I met her more directly, I started to realize just how horrible she was, and decided to stay away from her. Garrett was kind enough to let life stay like that for a while, and it was truly peaceful. But for him to all of a sudden turn around and tell me to move into a new house with his mother and him really threw me off. He knew that I was going to have a problem with that, and threw divorce in as the other option if I decided to not join them. I played his game and told him that I'd choose divorce over living with his crappy mom. And from there, he only furthered his aggression towards me.
I heard that you didn't want to give any money to pay off the first month of our payments, so I made it work.
Huh?
All of your stuff that you had in our house, I sold.
What?
Because you decided not to listen to me about doing your job, I took things into my own hands.
What did you sell of mine?
I sold all of the old furniture that we had from back when you were living alone, as well as the TV and smart home system.
What about the laundry machine and dryer? If you sold those as well, how are we going to clean our clothes?
I sure did. All of it. Even the fridge and microwave. We're going to be moving into that new house soon, so we don't need all this old crap. I also took care of all those dirty rocks you were collecting as part of your boring hobby.
No. I got those from all over the world! All of those rare minerals and gems that I had.
I also took care of your clothes and shoes that you never wore. All sold. I was able to get around $2,000 for those things alone.
I've been keeping all of those branded clothing for the past 10 years now. I can't believe this.
How does it feel? This is what happens when you try to go against the word of your husband.
So, you did all this to teach me a lesson?
Well, I had to make sure you couldn't run from me. But just in case you still want to, I have all this money from selling your things.
Fine. Then I'll stop talking about getting a divorce.
So you're going to start following my every word?
Well, it seems like that's all I can do now. Did you already use that money to make a payment on the new house?
In another 2 weeks, I'll be able to start paying the realtor for the place. I just have to wait for them to finish up all the billing paperwork.
So for the time being, we still have to live here without any furniture or appliances?
Well, until we move, we'll be staying at my mom's house.
I see. Well, I guess the situation is better than I expected it to be.
What?
Huh? It's nothing.
Until the time comes for the new house, you can use the time to get acquainted with Mom. She'll teach you all about how to care for her, so don't you dare doze off during her class.
Oh, this sounds like fun. I can't wait.
I knew you'd start to fall in line. If you keep this new attitude of yours up, we might even start to treat you with dignity again. We just got all of the paperwork signed for us to move into the new house. So get your things and get over here. What's wrong with you now?
Nothing, really. Moving into that new house with you two has nothing to do with me.
What are you talking about?
I'm not living with your mom.
We agreed you'd be doing this, so don't try and fight me now.
I'm not going to live with you and your old hag. And no matter how hard you tried to persuade me, I won't change my decision.
If you don't come here right now to live with us, we'll be getting a divorce. Is that what you want?
Happily. And you'll be left paying that $100,000 loan on your own. Ha! I've been waiting a very long time now for this to happen.
If you leave us, do you know what kind of pain you'll bring to my mama and I?
Well, none of that will matter to me, so don't even try scaring me.
Then why have you been doing as I've said for the past 2 weeks if you had no plans of moving in still?
I was just waiting to find out if you really took out that huge loan. And once you guys had calmed down, I'd make my move.
What do you mean by that?
I wanted to make sure you'd be going to loan hell with your mom.
What?
You think I'd really shut up after you sold all my furniture, appliances, clothes, and gems?
I just thought you had finally learned to listen to me.
I know that you just wanted me to stay with you so that my money would be used to pay off that loan. So before that can happen, I'm making my move and running away from you two bozos.
I have a $100,000 loan that needs to be paid off. Don't start acting like you can just leave.
And how are you going to plan on paying everything off when you only work a part-time job on the weekends? I don't even know how you were able to get the loan in the first place.
Well, I had Mama ask around for me. I was able to find a place that would let me take that money and use it towards a house.
And what company allowed that?
Mustang Loan Services.
Oh my god.
What?
That place? I've heard that they are super strict when it comes to making payments.
What?
They make themselves out to be a very safe option for borrowing money, but once you are tricked into taking money from them, they hit you with huge interest rates.
I didn't know that. What the hell?
The fact that they never told you your rates, wasn't that a red flag to you?
Well, I didn't bother asking.
Seriously?
What's wrong with that, though? I thought you'd be paying it off, so I didn't worry about all that at the time.
Well, now that I've looked it up, after borrowing that $100,000, you'll have to return $6,000 to them every month at least. Can you handle that with your part-time job?
No way! That's going to be impossible.
I guess I should have known a man-child like you wouldn't understand this sort of stuff.
I've never had to worry about money because you and Mama have been there for me.
Well, I guess this will be your final lesson, huh?
What am I going to do?
Well, whatever it is you choose to do. It won't involve me. I'm going to make sure that you pay settlements to me after the divorce, okay?
Wait, why?
Well, you technically committed theft by selling all my things without my consent, right? You made about $10,000 in total with all of my furniture included.
Well, that was all old stuff that you wouldn't need after the move. And all those rocks didn't mean a thing to me other than the amount of money I could get from selling them.
Of course, I shouldn't be too worried about old furniture being sold, but those so-called rocks that you didn't care about were a part of my long-standing collection. I had to go to countless auctions to get some of them, and many were extremely rare. There were even diamonds and emeralds within that collection.
What? How was I supposed to know that?
Well, I had certificates of authenticity next to them that you could have read before giving all my stuff away. I'll make sure to use those to get the amount they were worth back from you.
But you can't do that. We are still married. That is all part of our shared properties as husband and wife. So I'm sorry, but you can't file crap against me.
However, all of that stuff was things I owned before we married. And I have all the receipts to prove it. So you're out of options.
No.
Next, I'm going to file charges against you for assault. Both your mom and you. That'll not only come with a heavy settlement, but maybe even jail time.
We haven't assaulted you. You don't even have evidence if we did.
Well, for the past 2 weeks, I've had my back covered. Did you think I was just sitting around letting you guys take turns on me? Whenever you guys would see me, you'd always throw things at me. Shoes, bottles, dirt, and so on.
So what? We didn't throw those things at you that hard.
I ended up with bruises as well as cuts and a fear of being around you guys. That is more than enough to accuse you guys of assault.
But you still don't have any proof.
I placed cameras around the living room and kitchen to make sure I caught anything suspicious about you two. And it turns out I got more than I needed. Everything from you and your mom threatening me to you both harming me physically.
When did you get those cameras up?
While you two were sleeping, so that you would never know where they were. And even if you did notice, I'd just say they were there in case of a break-in.
I'm at a loss of words. I never thought you'd be smart enough to fight back.
I even have the video of you throwing a can at my head and screaming